It's been decades. We've been supporting triathletes through daunting endeavors in the most grueling of conditions, with you on fatigue-filled training sessions and exhilarating race days. We remain consistent, our craft unwavering. We're here to watch you improve and to conquer. Our heritage lives on. Welcome to the Ohana.
All right, what's up? Happy Friday, everyone. That was probably one of my favorite Sam Long finishes, beating his chest across the line. I believe that was La Quinta one year, but we'll bring him on and see what's up. But happy Friday, Juneteenth. If you guys got the day off, kudos to you and whoever you work for, or if you work for yourself. I am in the office. I know there's a soccer game going on, a soccer match going on at the moment. So we'll keep it as quick as possible. So hopefully Sam could get the W today and move on in the World Cup, which is pretty fun. Hey, thanks for joining us, guys. If you didn't see the video we did on Tuesday at an off time, check it out on this YouTube page. We are officially now partnered with Ruby, and we are going to be doing team rides. We're going to be doing course-specific rides. So if you're training for, let's just say, the Nice 70.3 World Championships, we're going to do some lead rides so everyone could get together, talk about the course. Maybe we could coerce some of our pro athletes to come on and join as well and give them their tips for different courses on different things. So it's just another way that we could bring you guys together virtually, which is really awesome. They are official Ironman partners. Where Ironman partners make sense. Summer series. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the summer series gear that is shipped out. I want to let you guys personally know that I touched almost 100% of those orders and shipped them out personally. And if I mess something up, if I ship to the wrong address, I apologize. We had to hand key most of those things in. But I've been living, and Sam's been in this gear for a bit. The new seamless bib shorts and the seamless cargo bib shorts. I've been living in those, and to my surprise, I've been rocking the white bib shorts quite a bit, and the new Elite jersey, which is really awesome. And I was just chomping on one of these. I'm just plugging all our partners right now because I've been kind of mowing these lately. I've been really enjoying these outer bars, which is really cool. So if you guys haven't checked this out, check them out. Nice kits. So you guys are just like our pros. We're going to give you guys a free P1X $500 race suit as our thanks to you for qualifying for the 70.3 and the Kona World Championships. Now, if you're in the US or Canada, you order from that US store. And if you're in Europe, the Europe team is going to send out a separate link to you guys. So don't order from the US store if you're watching this. And we have a special design. It's on the website. I'm going to send another email probably this weekend. And if you are not racing Nice or Kona, the Kona store isn't up yet, but if you're not racing those races, that doesn't mean you can't grab any of the gear. The Nice kit actually looks really cool. The cycle jersey looks really, really sharp and clean. And I can't remember off the top of my head what the Kona one looks like, but it's pretty cool. So congrats to you guys. I hope the training's going well. All right, without further ado, let's bring Mr. Unit. Sam, welcome to Friday. Do you want to be called Mr. Unit, Mr. Big Unit? Like what are we calling you nowadays?
Yeah, you can refer to me as Sir Big Unit for the rest of the call, please.
Sir Big Unit. Okay,
Yeah.
Sir Big Unit. We were chatting before we went live. You're in Tucson, for those of you guys who don't know. So, and it's starting. You're starting to creep up because we're in the kind of the beginning of summer. What's training? What's like life for Sam like these days? Getting up at like 3 a.m. so you could beat the heat. What's going on?
Yeah, so this summer's, I mean, what are we? We're like 2 days away from the summer solstice. So summer is definitely here. Summer's been a little different so far. I guess I just raced. Now I'm coming off a race, but just with the two kids, I try to get out early sometimes, but I've been doing a little bit more kid duty early in the morning, so I haven't been getting out. I've been up early, but I haven't actually been out the door sometimes as early as I would like, which means I'm doing extra heat prep, I guess. But it's going to have to start to change. We've had kind of a cooler summer so far, but now it's kicking in full gear. But I don't know. It's a little harder for me sometimes just to get out the door and
Yeah,
say see you all later. Uh,
welcome, bro. Welcome to fatherhood. But that's actually probably better, right? So your main focus is, I know you're racing Boise next, but your main focus for the season is Kona. Am I correct? Because we want to,
yes, that is correct.
just like the USA won today, as Rosalind. Shout out to Rosalind for getting us the update. Spoiler alert, Sam. Sorry, I think you said you paused it, but
Yeah, I said I
it
paused it, but that's okay. We were up 2-0 with a couple minutes, and I think that's Rosalind who is in Kona with us. Maybe if it's just one.
absolutely Rosalind who was in
Yeah,
Kona. She is the, I don't know. We could call her the R unit. You're the Mr. Big Unit, and she is the R unit. So yeah, yes, I forgot that we were all together in Kona. That was such a, man. Every time someone mentions that camp and stuff, even though the weather wasn't perfect, I know Crowley's doing another camp for the team. Some of the team members already signed up for August. But dude, that's like my favorite. That's like my favorite time of the year, like for work. Like it's just an unbelievable location. It's an unbelievable place. I have my busted wheel back here. That crow
you
that
framed
crow
it.
that
Yeah,
crowy signed. I hit a big boulder on it, but yeah, it was pretty fun. So yeah, you're up early. You're training for Kona. How are the kids these days? How old are both
yeah. So
children,
we're
and
going
what's
on.
going on?
Our youngest Sebastian is now 7 months. So we're hoping we've had a couple really rough months of no sleep. Not much sleep with him. He hasn't been sleeping. But we're hoping to be rounding that out now. This last week, it seems to have changed. Now it's just one wake up in the night. So that's good. And then Leo is going to be 3 in 2 months. So he's going on 3 and he's just rocking and rolling. And it's been, yeah, he's got more energy than anything. So it's been a lot of fun. They're definitely wearing me out. But once we get the sleeping down in the night, then things are going to definitely be looking up for us.
I don't think it ever I don't think it ever gets easier. You just kind of adapt a little bit. My boss, who may or may not be on the live chat right now, Sean. He always, he's got 4 girls, and he always just tell me, little kids, little problems, big kids, big problems.
Yeah.
And it is so true, but it's so fun. I don't even want to talk. You guys could find out about Sam's, like, we'll talk shoes in a second, but he puts out enough content on his YouTube, on his Instagram. You guys could figure out what he's doing and what he's racing and what his power is and all that junk. I want to talk about the fun stuff is kids. I mean, you're balancing, and you're not the only one, but it is so cool, and I hope it gives you a little bit more of an insight when you're at these races, and I actually do. It's one of the reasons why you're such a great athlete to have as an ambassador, and one of the reasons why we love working with you. And gosh, it's been what, 5 years, 6 years now, 7 years. I don't know. It's been a
Five or
while.
six, right? 5 or 6, yeah.
But every time I
This is
every
year
time.
6.
Okay, cool. Um, we haven't missed a payment yet, so let's keep going with that. So, but every time I talk to either a team member or someone that's like, hey, I ran into Sam, at Happy Valley, or I ran into him at Gulf Coast or whatever, and they all have really good things to say about you, which is really cool. And I know you kind of sometimes you want to get in and out, but it's your platform, it's your stage. You're not to the messy level yet, where if you're going to Trader Joe's, you're getting swamped. But when you go to these events, like, for sure, you're at that level, which is really cool, and it's really awesome that you always kind of take the time at least to say hi, post for a picture, and for you, I hope it is a little clear, like, all these people that are doing this for fun. I mean, you're doing it as your job, which is awesome, but these people doing it for fun, that are balancing work and their kids and stuff, like, it's, it is a labor of love that we put ourselves through this to do it. We could just, I don't know, play pickup softball if we wanted to, right? Like one night a week, or maybe a bowling league. Oh, that's what we should start next, is like the Teen Zoot bowling league. I think that'd be pretty cool. But but it does take a certain level of
Commitment.
dedication,
Yeah.
and commitment, which is really cool. And I think it is the key to success. Not only in our sport, but in life. So, you got a big fan base behind you. We love having you as part of the team, and we hope to see you on the podium, top step of the podium, in Kona for sure, bringing it back. No pressure though, but I
Pressure.
mean, let's go, bro. You said when you were at camp, you said, I got, you're like, any conditions that come on race day in Kona, I'll be ready, because you had about 5 or 6 days of riding, and like, I don't know, like 50-mile-per-hour gusty winds, and so I know you can handle it. It was still warm too, so it was pretty cool. It was pretty fun. So, and if you guys ever want to get uberly humbled, just seeing Sam on the Queen K ask you, like, he's like, and you're trying to like just jam, it's pretty fun. But I'm getting closer, Sam. Next time we go,
Yeah.
yeah, you're coming on. So let's get to the meat of the business of why we're on here today. We're going to talk about one of our Team Zoot partners, Cadomotus. And I always am not 100% sure. We're going to bring Larry on, and he could give us the correct pronunciation. But about the cycling shoes, and I've had the pleasure of riding these for this is my second season now. Riding these shoes, and we're going to get Sam's thought on them, and talk to you guys about if you're interested in some pretty sweet ass shoes, to check them out, and what makes these a little bit different than most of the shoes that you would buy from, say, a Specialized, a Pearl Zumi, Physique, so on and so forth. So anyway, all right, we'll bring Larry on. Hey Larry, how's it going?
I'm good, guys. How about yourselves?
No complaints on this end from my friend.
Can
But
you hear us all
what's that?
right? Can you hear us all right?
I could hear
Yeah.
you. I could hear you just fine.
All right.
So for those of you guys who don't know, Larry Upton, he's kind of like, not only has he worked in the industry for a while, but he also is an athlete himself. And yeah, if you've seen Larry in person, usually he's the guy in the expo, if Cadomotus is at the expo. I mean, you should, in Marbella, they were in Marbella, which was pretty cool, and Larry's just on his knees pretty much like 90% of the day, fitting shoes and stuff, and talking to people about the shoes, which is really cool. And one thing that we love about partners like this, and what we like, is like people that are actually passionate about like the product. And I know that sounds like super cheesy, but like I truly want to bring the passion back to the sport and to our brand, to our athletes that are racing. I know Sam encompasses that really well. And it's like, it's more than just something you're putting on your shoes or your feet, something you're putting on your kit. So talk to us about, and then we'll answer some questions. I see Sean's doing it, but talk to about Cadomotus. Where are you guys? Like, what's the impetus of Cadomotus? And then we'll talk about Sam, why he's riding these shoes, and if he's broken any yet. That's what I'm curious about.
Sure. So I'll make a long story short. Cadomotus is about a 24, 25-year-old company out of the Netherlands. Our history is actually in speed skating, which I know it's June, so folks aren't thinking about speed skating. But for those of you who've watched the Winter Olympics, these are the guys and gals that have the 34, 36-inch thighs, and they're all of 8 inches off the ice, and they're going round and round the ice at 65 miles an hour. So as you can imagine, that sport is heavily dependent upon that little 1 millimeter piece of metal that's against the ice, and the ability of the athlete to take not just their quad power, but their core strength, translate it from their core, their abdomen, down through the quads, through their calves, and onto the top of that skate. And so again, it's about aerodynamics and the ability to stay low, tight, and it's all about power transfer to the skate. So spent about 21, 22 years in that. And then our founder, who is a Dutch engineer named Diederik. For any of you who have or haven't met Diederik, he is every bit the wizard behind the curtain. He's a very eccentric dude that absolutely loves triathlon. He loves athletes. Decided about 5 or 6 years ago, because he himself was a Cat 1 cyclist, that the industry was missing out. There were quite a few folks. Hey, Sean, good to see you, man. Quite a few folks who were doing carbon-based shoes, the Lakes, the Bonds, the Specialized, the Nimbles, the Physics of the world, but they were all just using carbon as far as it being a flat base. What they weren't taking advantage of was what they had in the speed skating world, where you actually had a tub. Yeah, you can see how high. That's about 4 centimeters high on the back. And then if you turn the shoe to the side, Mark, you see that crease that runs down? You can see that crease? That is the carbon last. So it starts at about 5 centimeters, goes to the front toward the toe. It's about 2.5 centimeters. So that carbon actually comes up and over your metatarsal bones, your MT1 and your MT2, which is basically that bump on the outside of your foot and the bump just to the inside of your big toe. And then it wraps around your heel. The effect being like a glove around your foot. And as Mark was discussing earlier, for really high quality carbon like we utilize, there's actually 14 layers of hand lathed carbon in that last that can be molded. So for the maybe 15 to 16, 17% of you who have, either a little bit of a bump or a bunion on the outside of your foot, or, some folks have very flat feet. So the inside of their ankle, there's a bit of a protruding bone. Some folks have incredibly wide front feet, or they have an incredibly narrow heel cup. Those shoes can be molded. And it sounds a little bit daunting, like, why would I want to pop my $500 shoes in the oven? But Sam and I have done it. It's really not that hard. You pop out the insole, you heat your oven up to about 180 degrees, pop those shoes in there for 10, 11, 12 minutes. You want some lightweight gardening gloves. I mean, you don't have to have heavy industrial, leather gloves, but just some gardening gloves. Take them out, and then depending upon where the pressure point is at, you can then apply pressure to that carbon and ease it out in one direction, or squeeze it in if you've got a narrow heel cup. Hold it for 2.5, 3 minutes, and as that carbon cools, it's going to maintain that shape. The thought being there that, again, less than 20% of you are going to have some type of peculiarity about your foot. Oh, yeah, we recognize that guy. So you're going to have a peculiarity about your foot. The ability to mold these shoes is that extra 5%. That's really just going to ensure that they fit your foot properly. That's
it's like getting a tailored suit or something, right? Like,
for those of you who are down here skiers and you've bought some nice ski boots, it's the same thing they do with ski boots. They've been doing it for 15 years in the ski boot industry. It's just that no one had been doing it in the cycling shoe industry. So long story short, we introduced these about 5 years ago. We've made various iterations or changes to these shoes. The two that you see on the screen right now, the one that Mark's got, that's the Chronos Aero. That is the flagship edition that Sam rides. And then to the right,
and me, bro, and me.
Mark. And then the one to the right there, that's our World Cup T2. That was originally designed for ITU or short course athletes. The thought being, they're more about getting out of transition faster. Sam can tell you, and Mark can tell you, the Chronos Aero, it's really not difficult to get on. That zipper goes all the way to the toe. There is a single BOA dial beneath that. And then there you go. So that's where you get your micro adjustment. And then once you're, what, Sam, you tell these guys, half a mile, 3/4 mile down the road, you lean down, you zip the aero, and you're off to the races.
I actually had one of our team Zooters. He's like, man, I wonder if I should get these for like aero gravel racing. But I don't think you guys make an SBD.
You laugh. We have an enormous amount. I'll say enormous. That's a relative term for you guys. You're big, 6,000 team members. But let's just say there's a substantive amount of pro gravel racers who race in that very shoe.
Oh, no way. All right. You heard it there, Kevin Driscoll. There's your call. Get that shoe. You guys also, I want to talk about, and Sam, do you have, I'll ask this one to Sam, do you have any other models, or do you race and train in this Chronos?
So far I have raced and trained in the Chronos. Now they just came out with a brand new called the World Cup. It's called, right, Larry?
Actually, real quick, scroll down, Mark, continue scrolling. This is what Sam races in, guys, and that's something I was going to emphasize. You see the bottom of the carbon shoe here. This is the same Chronos Aero that Mark is riding and that we showed you earlier. This is the world's only cycling shoe which actually integrates speed play directly into the carbon.
Ah.
So the metal piece there is unlike a traditional 3-bolt shoe that you would use for look or SPDs. This is for speed play. And as Sam can tell you, the benefit here is, unlike your normal shoes where you're having to put a stack plate there and basically, a means to affix the speed play pedal to the shoe, this goes directly into the carbon, which gives you somewhere, depending upon, the way you fit your speed play, between 2 and 3 millimeters of additional stack height, so that you can bring your seat down and you can actually get into a more aero position.
Wait, I thought Sam was a Garmin athlete. They don't make you, you don't have them for pedals?
No, so I'm on speed play,
Bro.
which is great, and so that's why I have these. I use that model there, and I'm stacked right to it.
That's pretty cool. That I mean, you're like losing nothing in that case, right? If you're a speed play person. So
yeah, like what's super cool, you're literally right connected to the pedal,
There you go. There you
with
go.
extra carbon fiber as well around your foot. It basically just feels like your foot is connected to the bicycle. It's amazing.
Oh, that's rad. And one thing I want to tell you guys, if you haven't tried these out, there's a loop here for those of you guys who like to put the bands on. They really thought it is tri specific.
I'll even take it a step further, Mark. Flip the shoe around. No, or sorry, the other way, just so I can see the other side of the shoe.
Inside of the shoe.
Yeah. No, sorry. Keep going.
Inside, like where your arch would be.
Yeah. There you go, right there.
Yeah.
See this small black band there?
This one?
That's actually where we recommend affixing the rubber band.
Oh.
The loop on the back is actually for your finger or your thumb if you're pulling the shoes on. You need to move it over so they can see it, Mark, in the camera. There you go. That's actually something that Diedrich developed because he's OCD, is like you can't believe. That will now allow you to affix that to, let's say, a bottle clamp holder on the non-bracket side. And then on the bracket side, you can affix it to, the actual bike mechanism. That will keep your shoes perfectly horizontal when they're coming out of T. So you're not even having to put your foot on and flip it up before you zip it up. You just put your foot on the top. And I've seen Sam coming out of T1. He puts his foot on there because it's cupping his foot already. And he's blasting out of T1. He's waiting 300, 400, 500 meters before he ever even puts his foot in the shoe. And then because it's perfectly horizontal, hits the boa, zips it up, and he's off to the races.
Yeah, do you hear that, Ashley Anderson? I'm going to save about a minute in transition right there.
I hear that, but so Larry, I've started, I don't know, I find that hole just to be like too tight on the side, and I'm nervous in the morning. My hands are shaking. I just can't get the rubber band through there in the mornings.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, put it this way. That's what it's designed to do. Whether you do it or not, that's at your discretion.
Yeah, but I can get them perfectly flat otherwise. But the nice thing is you have options. I mean, my goal is I try to get my foot on the mount inside the shoe. That's the real goal.
Sam, what kind of like power are you? What's like? Let's be friggin' nerds for a second, right? Because you guys are full nerds. What kind of like when you set the fastest ever 70.3 bike course split in history? This is correct, right?
This is correct. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, dude. Suck it, everyone else. What was your average power for that? Like, what kind of power are you putting into these bad boys? I mean, like the thing I had noticed, and Larry said it is pretty cool, that these things, I mean, they feel, they're like super stiff, but with the molding, it still feels really comfortable. But like it really just kind of cups your feet. And you guys do offer another shoe that has a.
Out there, they have a standard black, a standard flat carbon.
Yes.
Correct.
So this is like your kind of standard shoe where the carbon shell is just on the bottom last. But But what kind of power, Sam, are you putting into these things when you're racing normally? And have you ever had any can you break these things? I want to know. And if not, you should try. I want to see if you could break these bad boys.
So I did 355 average watts there for the Gulf Coast. And that's pretty typical. And no, I don't think, I mean, maybe if you had a big bike crash, you could tear the leather off on the top, but they've been incredibly robust. And so normally I was wearing these Shimano S-Fire shoes before for a couple years, well, for a long time. And I would go through about 2, sometimes even 3 of those a season, believe it or not. They just would break down. And that's very typical of other shoes. And these have absolutely no signs of, they're basically broken in and they're more comfortable now, but there's no signs of carbon fatigue or anything like that.
So do these things start feeling, as you used them, were they kind of like a nice pair of Italian loafers? Like I know, like I have
Yeah, like I know either.
You could ask less. But is the Sam's father-in-law, everyone? But
I can say they've actually gotten more comfortable as I've continued to wear them. They've gotten more comfortable. And I know Larry was talking about the whole heat molding process. We did do that, and so I was looking at these shoes for a couple years, and actually I thought, oh, the heat molding is going to be kind of a big process. The reality is, most likely you're going to get these shoes and you'll put them on and they're going to be more comfortable than other shoes just out of the box, even if you don't do the heat molding. And the heat molding is kind of like a final fine-tuning step. And I think sometimes we're maybe scared of like, oh, you have to do the heat molding, and if you don't do it right, it's not going to be comfortable and it's not going to work at all. That's like completely not the case. I would say, like, because we're not doing heat molding on other shoes. It's basically they're going to most likely be more comfortable than other shoes right out of the box. And then if you do the heat molding, you're going to get this extra edge of comfort and precision fitting.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys could heat up like dino nuggets in the oven, like you could do this. Like, I'm a dummy and I did it, right? So can you, Larry, so say you have these, you mold them, and then something maybe doesn't feel right. Can you put them back in?
Sure. So you had a screenshot up earlier, Mark. It was, I think you were on the site, and it had a picture of the blue. I don't know where you found that. Yep, there you go, right there. Yeah, you can leave it on that one right there. That's perfect. So you guys can see where the carbon comes up and around your toe tips, around your metatarsal bones, and then you can just see that little thin blue line around your ankle. That's designed to show the height of where the heel cup goes up to. So to answer your question specifically, what we recommend is, first, if you look over to the right of Mark's screenshot, there's a box a little further down that says
this is awesome, actually.
That's an app that for any of you guys who've used like the Magic 5 and their goggles, you can scan your face and it measures your ocular, geometry and your nose, and it fits the goggles perfectly. This is the same thing. And Sam can tell you, you put your feet on 2 pieces of typing paper. You download this app. It scans your foot. That gives us incredibly specific measurements regarding length, width, and volume of your foot. Once you've got those measurements, you can close that now. You can then click on the little right beneath that where it says size chart. And then you can scroll down. There's some, again, Deirdre detail that will get to help you drill down into exactly what size shoe you want. The thought being that carbon that we were just, the blue thing that you were just showing us.
Sorry, do you want me to go back? I was going to talk to you guys about this stuff too.
It doesn't matter. So to answer your question specifically though, Mark, yes, what we suggest is if you've got a hot spot when you first try these shoes on, or any pain whatsoever, which is again unlikely, you can conduct the initial heat molding session. And the way you would do that, let's say on the inside of your right big toe, there's like a bump and it's giving you some pressure. What we've shown working with Sam is you can cut a small piece of EVA, Edward Victor Apple foam, that you can get on Amazon for $3 a roll. You can get it in 2 or 3 millimeter. You can then tape that to the side of your foot. So there you go. That's perfect. Such that once you put your foot back in that heated up shoe, that carbon's going to expand and you're going to have some extra space in there. Once you've done that kind of foundational mold, we do not recommend putting them back in the oven. The reason being, carbon, like a lot of polymers, has memory. So if you just put them back in the oven, it's going to go back to the factory settings. If after the initial mold, you've still got a hot spot, what we recommend is just taking the standard heat gun. Like you can get it, Home Depot or online for 29 bucks. You hold it out to the side, put your fingers inside the shoe on the area of the carbon where you got the hot spot, heat that up for a good 5 or 6 minutes till it's hot, and then literally take the butt end of a screwdriver or like a wooden cooking spoon and just push out on the carbon gently where it's there. Hold it for 3 or 4 minutes, and then that's going to give you kind of a micro adjustment that you may have already not accomplished with the macro molding. So
Larry's going to the fine minutia, everyone, about these things. Larry, unless someone's watching this in real time, no one's doing that. They're going to call you guys, and I appreciate it. But this leads me into why I'm saying that is the Cadomotus site is like, it's crazy good with all they have so much stuff on there, and their support is really good. So if you are having issues, my point is reach out to these guys. They will walk you through, they will help you, and they will give you these tips. There's so much good stuff on there, whether you're riding in their shoes or not. There's so much good stuff. Like I saw this before we were kind of prepping for the call, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of like with running shoes. Some people are like, well, you got to size up, a half size up. And I was like, I don't think I've ever sized up. Maybe my feet don't expand. But we all know what you guys are doing with that foot scanner app. You're doing like you're selling those feet pictures online somewhere of all these like gnarly triathletes, just toes. We should see we got to get a picture of Sam's feet, because all the times, as much as he runs, if they look anything like mine, my wife looks at my feet, she's like, dude, put some socks on, bro. Like those things, I only got like runner toes. Anyway,
I was just in the dermatologist on Monday, and not for my feet. And the guy sees my feet, and he literally goes, "Whoa, what's going on with your feet there?"
He was like, "Bro, you could crack walnuts with those things."
So Mark, that's actually a very appropriate segue, and I don't want to steal Sam's thunder, but right before he threw down an ice race in Chattanooga, he and I were actually chatting. We did a little quick video that you guys may have seen. I think Mark maybe sent it out to you. One of the points that doesn't often get raised about these shoes, I mean, I know Sam, unlike anybody else that I know of, averaged 355 watts over an hour 49. But Sam brought up a really interesting point. He goes, well, you jokers are all forgetting is after that 149, I threw down a 110 off the bike. And I was like, damn, you're right, you did. And Sam brought up a point, and we kind of missed it from a corporate marketing standpoint. He's like, that carbon tub so helped me, even when I was throwing down that kind of wattage, it basically reduced the impact on my stabilizer muscles. Those tiny muscles around your ankle, around your calf and your shin, which are often getting taxed, through putting down the wattage on a vicious bike ride. He said he came out of T2 with the freshest legs he's ever remembered. Sam, you could probably comment more on that, because I thought it was a really interesting point that you yourself brought up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's just so many details to these shoes, but because it's wrapping your whole foot around, because I'm running speed plays as well, but even if you're not, I'm closer to the cleat. My whole foot is much more locked in, right? And obviously on the bike, we're just like speed skating, we're using, even to a point, we are using our core. We're using mostly our legs, but we're using our core, and all that power is only going through, a pedal this big. No matter what pedal you're using, all the platforms are very small, basically twice the size of a quarter, if that. All that power has to go through. And so it has to go through your ankle, and it has to stabilize through your foot. And so if you can allow more stability, all the stabilizer muscles are having to stabilize themselves as that power is trying to go. You can think of it as going directly down, because most of it is going directly down. And obviously, as it goes down, our foot's having to stabilize each way. And so it's just going to stabilize that more as you get off the run.
Sam's starting to sound like an android. That's okay. Maybe the heat's getting to the internet, but here's my piece of advice too for you guys.
Put his phone in my mouth. My phone in his mouth yet.
I think Leo put he said he put his phone in his mouth. But here's a piece of advice: don't ride or run with Sam. Don't swim with Sam either. Like ever. Like that dude. If you see Sam, like Sam's got. I have two rules, and I've said this before, and this is probably why I'll probably never ride with you, Larry. I don't ride with dudes in their 20s or girls, right? And I don't ride with people with like veins in their legs. Like if you're sitting next to Sam and he's wearing shorts, like Sam's got like veins, like it's like
Dude, the guy's veins have veins, Mark.
I'm just like, bro, and I'm like, how much are you running and riding, my friend? Oh my gosh! Like I know because I follow him on Strava, obviously, but you know you are Mr. Big Unit, that's for sure, and you're putting a lot of power in. And I'm always really happy when our athletes are able to partner with brands that we are partnered with the team. It makes it like way easier. It makes it more fun. And so if you guys, I mean, I'm gonna try to wrap this up. I know Sam's probably got a nap to do. Um, but if you guys have a chance, just like all of our partners, we try to bring partners on that we think you guys would get some value out of. They're gracious enough to give you guys 20% off on the Cadomotus shoes. Try them out for sure. Give them a go. Get the fresh legs. I am enjoying these things, and I do want to mention too, and I think some of our athletes, and I think you guys on the team realize this, and but I think sometimes people kind of forget about this, whether it's our customers or our athletes that we sponsor, or just people in general. And we are very, like, I love you guys, like everyone on Team Zoot. It's my favorite thing ever. I'm so grateful that you guys are helping support us, and we could support you on doing these really cool things. It gives me a job, which is pretty awesome. It gives Larry a job. It gives Sam a job. It helps put peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in Leo's mouth and dino nuggets and stuff. But I think people kind of forget that when you guys are, and with Sam too, and it goes with all of our athletes. Like you guys know, we pay our pro athletes, right? Especially if they win. Like that's just part of it. Like we give them money. It's their job. And my favorite thing to do is to pay out bonuses. Like if Sam wins Kona this year, like how stoked I will be to be like, okay, we're paying him this bonus. Like that is the bonus that I want to pay, because just like you guys, I want you guys to win. I want Sam to win. I want Cadomotus to win. I think it's really cool. So every time when you guys go onto our website, and you guys buy, like, especially Sam's collection, if you guys buy an Element shirt or a cycle bibs or anything in his collection, like that actually goes directly to Sam, a part of it. So it's really cool. It's like a really cool ecosystem that we have to help support the athletes. And so I just want to let you guys know, and the shoes, and the same with the Cadomotus shoes. So it really does help support this little family we have, and you guys are a part of it. That's why it's really cool. And Sam does see one of you guys, especially on the team. I mean, you guys are both part of the same team, and you guys buying the Team Zoot stuff, it really helps us. And I know it's kind of like a cheesy plea and a cheesy thank you, but we're trying to make stuff that's good, that's cool, that represents something a little bit more than just something that you wear during race day or training, and something more than that you put on your foot. So it is pretty cool. I gotta, before we leave, I do have a couple questions that I want to get to here. So check them out. There's a 20% off code. It's in the discount group on the forum. And if you guys don't know, if you guys can't find that, I don't know what's going on. If you could navigate like the Hulu Disney subscription platform, I think you'll be fine. But Sean wants to know, Sam, I don't know, I don't know if Sean, if his speaker's working now, but why no Placid for Sam do you not need points for the Pro Series, or maybe you're just focusing on Kona? Is that the case?
Let's see. Do I still sound like Mr.
Yeah,
Robot?
You sound good, actually.
It's perfect.
Oh, good. So no Placid. Yeah, the Pro Series, it's kind of complicated. I mean, obviously the Pro Series is good, I guess. I guess I'll talk briefly about the ecosystem Mark was talking about. Like, it's frankly, it's the ecosystem between pros, their sponsors and partners, so Cadomotus and Zoot, and the age groupers that allows a professional to make a living and to provide for their family. It's not Ironman. We all go and we do the Ironman races, but like, unless if you're getting top 5 in the Pro Series, you're not even making money. You're spending more money to get to the races than Ironman pays you at the end of the year. So like, it's so much risk to pursue the Pro Series and not that much reward. And unfortunately, if you have like one mediocre race, so I went 7:39 at Ironman Texas, which unfortunately counts as a mediocre race, then I'm out of the top 3 already. Like, and so it no longer makes sense to pursue it, and instead it makes sense to focus on races that maybe suit me a little bit more, and also just say, okay, I don't need to put 3 Ironmans in my body, and I'm just going to focus on Kona and hopefully have a better race at Kona. So that's kind of why Lake Placid is out.
Got it. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, it's funny. We kind of have an internal. I've been working with the pro athletes for many seasons now. Before I had, like, when this was all dark, it's kind of when I started. And and some, I don't, it's really hard. Sometimes some of my other coworkers or my colleagues are, they're like, hey, we need the schedules for our pros, so we, which makes sense, right? So we could plan stuff. But it's so dynamic with you guys, depending on your season, and what you have planned, and it must kind of be a little fun, right? To just be white knuckling it, like, depending on how you're able to adapt from your original plan of, like, these are the races I'm doing. And but just like with every age grouper and whatever, like, stuff happens too. You have a bad race, you have a cold, who knows, your kid didn't sleep, and you miss on some training, or you got to go party or something. Not you guys, but you know what I'm talking about. So but it is really cool. It is really interesting to hear from you the changes, and that totally makes sense. Like, yeah, guys, these pros, if I mean, I say this all the time, but, like, no one cares what you did yesterday. Like, really, no one. Like, you're only as good as your next race, really. And I ask this question a lot, like, like, who got third 2 years ago in Kona? I don't know. Like, I barely know who got first. I think it's probably maybe Patrick. I don't know. I'm not sure. Right, is my point. And third place in the world championship is pretty big. It's a pretty awesome thing. It's a pretty unbelievable accomplishment. But it fades fast, so it's a really quick thing. And Larry has the RTS bottle, so shout out to those guys too. Nick, shout out to Nick Chase and those guys. He's the one who actually introduced us to the Cadomotus brand initially. But everything, and same with the RTS guys. They run a custom store, and it directly helps support their athletes of good racers, especially if I know Jackson was fighting an injury this year, so he hasn't been able to race as much as he's wanted to, stuff like that. But if you're not one of the top guys, and luckily you are, which is pretty cool, but it really goes a long way. You out there that are buying stuff from these brands that help support these athletes, and it makes it a little bit more fun. And thanks, Sam, for, like, recognizing that. I think you're one of the, I don't know if all the athletes maybe recognize it as well as you do, but it is pretty integral part of what we do and how we're able to continue doing this and have fun doing it. I work with or I have a buddy of mine who works for the water department. He works for, like, the water. He works for a water department here in California, and he's like, I just, everyone sucks at my work. He, like, runs and stuff, and he's like, I just work with a bunch of, like, just people that, like, are miserable, and, like, they like every time I talk to him, I'm like, oh man, I'm so glad. Oh look, we lost him. I'm like, oh man, I'm so glad I work in this sport that I enjoy so much. So Sam, if you're still there, you went dark, but anyway, love Sam's collection. Okay, cool. I think we could still hear him, but his thing went dark. But Cadomotus, there he's back, everyone. Cadomotus, everyone, check him out. Check out Sam's Elements collection. I think we did a reorder, but I think that's it for the year. I don't know if we're ordering any more. So if there's anything that you guys haven't got, check it out. It does help Sam. Plus, I think he gets a little stoked when he sees people that are in his gear that are like at a race. It gets him a little extra motivation for sure, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's it. All right, boys. Well, hey, is there anything else? I had some notes here that I didn't look at all.
Two quick things, Mark.
Yeah.
So again, you guys saw the website, cadomotus.com. Check out the Chronos Aero. That's the shoe that Sam and Mark ride. Two things we would ask. If you guys decide to purchase a pair, while you're trying them on, please do so on carpet, not on concrete or wood or outside, because that carbon can be scuffed or scratched on the bottom. And in the rare event that, you pick a size that's slightly too big or slightly too small, we want to be able to exchange them for you, and we'll do that at our cost. We just ask that you first try them on carpet. That way you don't, you ensure you don't mar up the carbon bottom. The second point, and I've already kind of covered it as well, is all of these shoes are actually going to be shipped to you from the US. So you don't have to worry about duties, import, taxes, the 30% tariff that, you would get if you were buying it direct from the Netherlands. We're going to be taking care of that. We'll be shipping it out of here in St. George. So you'll get it in 2 or 3 days. Try them on. If they don't work, I'll send you a return shipping label. You get them back to me, and we'll get another pair out to you. So
Sweet. There you go. Look at just like white glove the whole way. Look, you guys are doing it right. Oh man. All right, Sammy. Peace out. Hey, happy Father's Day to you guys. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there. All you dads doing what you do, which is really cool. We really appreciate you guys. Be safe. Hopefully for Father's Day, like I always ask for like a no limits ride, like one of those rides that's like not like when you're gonna be home rides, and I'll stop and get coffee. It's pretty cool. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great Father's Day, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out, everyone.
thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Sam.